is primarily that. It's primarily an art gallery with a museum element to it, whereas Barnstaple Museum is primarily a museum which also shows bits of contemporary art. So the difference between the two organisations, I think that they're very complementary. So that the Burton, over the course of the last few years, has been showing much more sort of nationally significant art. So at the moment there's the Gerwood Drawing Prize. There's been a number of artists who are quite high profile as being featured as one of the best places to go and see in The Guardian and those sorts of things. So I think what we're looking for at the Burton is we're looking for people, on the one hand, to think of this as, you know, this is the high quality art gallery. If you want to see art of that kind of calibre, you've got to go to either St Ives, to the Tate there, or you're going to have to go up to Bristol. So for our patch, for our part of the countryside, this is the premier art venue. In terms of the museum, what the museum is able to offer is that the museum has got a real depth of knowledge and resources associated with the people and culture and the story of North Devon. So the idea for Showreel was that this was another one of those examples of a real grassroots movement. So I had a young man who came to me and said, I want to put on a showcase of new creative film in North Devon. And I said, that sounds fantastic. Right, let's have a look at the programme. So we identified a time that we could do this. We picked a week, and essentially what we've done is we've put out a call to people saying, if you're a filmmaker, and of course there are lots and lots and lots of people who are now filmmakers because the technology is in the reach of many, many people. If you're a filmmaker, yes, you can put your stuff onto YouTube, but this year you have the possibility of getting it into the museum to be seen by all the visitors to the museum. You know, we have 70,000 visitors a year, so, and over the period that we're talking about, you know, there'll be a good few thousand people that will come and see the material that's presented. And we try and do this quite often. So what we have the photographic competition that runs here at the museum, which I think is getting on for its 20th year. We have an open art show as well, and these are where we try and turn the gallery over to the people of North Devon. Say, okay, you're creative, you're making things, you're doing things, you're doing this fantastic artistic creative work. We'd like to be the place where that gets seen. There's a lot of evidence. We've been doing quite a lot of work, particularly in Barnstaple Museum, looking at the psychological and well-being, as it tends to be called, effect of the arts. I was involved in a project a couple of years ago where essentially we said, you know, art, is cultural engagement a good thing? Is it good for you from a psychological mental health perspective? And the short answer is yes. So to some extent I wonder whether or not you could measure the health of your society by the quality of your art gallery. And if that's the case, then North Devon's doing pretty well. But of course I would like to see that continue, and for that gallery and of course the museum as well to be supported. And all the other organisations, so Bideford and the Plough and so on, these are symbols of the health of our community, both in terms of our health and our attractiveness to tourists who are coming in, and our own psychological health, well-being and sense of worth as individuals living in that place.